high crotch, bring it back, single leg. Sweet. Let me teach you how to wrestle. Okay. Let me teach you how to wrestle.
And welcome back to Wrestling Mindset. Today we're here with Pat Lugo. Pat, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were talking a little bit before about some of the things you have going on, and right now you're training. You're not training for yourself, but helping a teammate get ready for this event called the Olympics.
Yeah, Spencer. I mean, it takes a village, so it's not only me. So I'm just part of the village, and I'm here still in Iowa City, getting him ready to go, and he's awesome. This is like my first time wrestling with him since I've been in Iowa. So I've been here for like 8 years, and my last year I get to wrestle with Spencer. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. How's he looking? How's he feeling? Is he ready to go?
Yeah, he's more than ready. He's I think he's gonna go out there and take everyone. So I mean, that's probably me being biased, but yeah, I just think he's ready to go. So I'm excited for him.
How did he feel with his last performance over at the qualifier?
I didn't talk to him much about that. I didn't go with him to Turkey to the last qualifier. I was supposed to, but then I had some family business going on, so I didn't get to go. But I mean, I saw what you saw on the YouTube screen where when he wrestled all his matches. He looked good. He sounded good in his interviews, and the main thing is he got the job done, and now he's going to Paris.
That's right. I'm sure that was a big sigh of relief just to get that, you get that behind you, right?
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So now talk about what you have going on.
So I'm opening up a wrestling club, and I'm still in Iowa, and I'm doing the wrestling club in Miami, Florida. So I don't have a gym yet. So what I'm doing is starting a wrestling camp and tournament June 6th through 9th in Miami, Florida. I'm bringing some great coaches down. I got some coaches from Iowa, some coaches from Penn State, and then some Florida natives, at the camp. And it's going to be a good event for South Florida. There's not like a lot of events like that in Florida in general. So I think it's good for, just the state of Florida in general, hoping that mindset rise. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, is this something you always wanted to do? When did you have the plan that you said you were going to do this for sure?
This is something I did not think I was going to do.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I don't know. I kind of just take my life year by year. Like, okay, this year I'm wrestling. This year I'm doing that. Whatever. Well, all the past years I've been wrestling. So I've just been focused on wrestling, and then once I had that conversation with myself, like, hey, this is probably time for something different. A few options came on the table, like coaching. Instead of coaching youth club, I could have coached a college, or I could have kept wrestling, or go fight inside the cage, and all these options are still on the table.
Yeah.
I can still do these things in the future, and I just know right now I think this is the best option for me. Coach youth club and go from there. I probably decided less than a year ago that I wanted to do this, and I have no regrets. So it's good.
Awesome. Who's going to be coaching with you there?
I don't have anyone yet. I'm looking for like some help. So if any Florida coaches see this, hit me up.
What area is this going to be in Florida?
In Miami, Florida, around.
Okay.
Yeah, north or south Miami. Like I said, I don't have a facility yet, but around that area.
All right, excellent. Because my wife's family has a house in West Palm Beach. Her parents are not that far, and aren't they making a they might have this already? The train that shoots down there in under an hour or something like that.
Yeah, they're making it now. It's not done yet. When that gets going, that's probably gonna help me a lot.
Isn't it something where like it'll take you from where does it, do you know where it starts? Is it Orlando? Or is it up in Daytona?
Yeah, I'm not too sure where it takes you, but I don't think it stops in Miami. I think it stops like in the Keys, or I'm not really too sure how it is, but I know they are building it.
Yeah, because it could be quite a drive. If you're just driving, it'd be a little bit tougher. But if there's a train that's going down, man, that's gonna fly.
Yeah,
That's
the
great stuff.
train. Yeah, the train would help a lot, and traffic down there is crazy. So yeah, the train would definitely help.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And now what are, I guess just have you laid out like any kind of coaching philosophies or a system or something that like things you're going to specifically focus on your club? I mean, I know clubs are clubs, but there might be certain points of difference that maybe you've seen people aren't doing enough of, or you'd like to emphasize more, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I will definitely once I will dive into that more when I get it going. I'm like I said, I'm still in Iowa, and I have a website up, and it has a few mindset strategies on there, but nothing that dives really into deep in that. So but I definitely will get that going soon. Once I get down there in August and start moving forward with that. So yeah, I'm still kind of like working on I guess the foundation of the club first and building from there.
Awesome. Are there any other Hawkeyes that you're aware of that are down in Florida?
No, not that I'm aware. I don't think so, no. But I think Ava Saad, he's looking for a job somewhere. He might be already stationed in Chicago actually. And I told him, hey, come to Miami, you can help me out with the club and we can start something. But I think he's in Chicago, so yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, and talk a little bit about your journey in wrestling, when you started wrestling, what clubs you went to growing up, and what brought you to Iowa. Maybe we should have started there, but talk about your story a little bit.
Oh, good. So yeah, started wrestling when I was 4. I honestly didn't like it growing up. It wasn't the funnest sport to me. I did football, soccer, and I boxed when I was younger. And I think football and soccer were fun to me because all my friends were doing it, and I was like the only one in the group wrestling. And so yeah, I went to high school at South Dade. My club, the only club I went to when I was younger, was called Gladiator Wrestling Club, and it's still there, ran by Humberto Reyna, Coach Doug. So yeah, and my high school coach was named Coach B, Coach Balmaceda. So yeah, I wrestled there, went to school there, um, throughout high school, and then I went to Edinburgh for college. I was there for 2 years under Coach Flynn, great coach, great system. After those 2 years were up, I transferred to Iowa. During that transfer period was tricky. I had a lot of schools that I was talking to, and the transfer portal didn't exist, so it was a hard conversation I had to have with Coach Flynn, saying, "Hey, I want to go somewhere else." So that was hard, but it was something that needed to be said, and we had a conversation, and I ended up in Iowa. So it was good. I've been this is my 8th year in Iowa now, and I love it so far. And you know, I'm leaving, but it doesn't mean I'm leaving on bad terms. I made a lot of great friends here, a lot of good memories, and I'm blessed. I'm grateful that I came here and was able to touch the lives of Tom and Terry's coaching legacy. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
How was it wrestling for those guys? Because I watched a lot of Iowa wrestling when I was a kid. I mean, maybe a lot of people don't know, but we chose our colors black and gold because that was like the foundation, at least in our mind, when we started getting real serious about wrestling. My brothers and I, when I was in 8th grade, my brother Jeff was in 6th. We watched the Brands brothers tapes, Dan Gable, Competitor Supreme. So we said, man, that really is the foundation. How has that impacted you, being around those guys, being around Gable, as well as all the other great people in the program?
I mean, if you don't get better here, it's because you really don't want to. I mean, they have a great coaching system, great training system, great mindset system, and they really just get you prepared for life. They're they are great life coaches. To call them just great wrestling coaches is not giving them enough justice. And so yeah, I love them. I love them both, and they help me in ways that they don't even realize, like with stuff outside of wrestling, like the adversity and, all these other things that creep into your life that try to bring you down, like anxiety, depression, whatever you want to call it. That wrestling mindset that I learned from the Iowa wrestling team helps me get through those things, and it's really a life sport, It's like,
Yeah.
it's just, I don't really know how to explain it. It's more of a feeling, and like I said, I just keep going back. So I feel blessed. I feel grateful to be here, and to be a part of those guys' journey is awesome. So yeah.
Absolutely. Talk about how important the mental part of the sport is. You keep saying mindset. What are some of the things that you've learned over time? How have you learned to improve your mindset over time?
That's a really good question. I think it changed as I got older, obviously, because I was changing. I was figuring my own, self out, and I kind of figured it out in college a lot better. I don't know. I just think you have to let go of the results.
Yes.
You gotta let go of the results. There's no like, hey, if I win or lose, like I used to tell myself, if I win this match, I'll get more love. If I lose this match, people won't love me, and that's not a good way to think.
Right.
So, and that would affect my wrestling. That I wouldn't be living in the moment. I'll be living in the future or in the past, and that's you want to be in the moment if you want to have your best skills out there.
Exactly.
So that was something that I had learned, is letting go of the results, letting go of the insecurities that I have, letting go of that, and just being vulnerable, being vulnerable out there in the wrestling, man, because you're just out there, you're alone, and you put it out there, and who cares what people say? They're gonna talk good about you no matter what. So once you let go of that, you believe in yourself, and you start training hard and doing all the right things, and everything starts to fall into place. And it doesn't happen overnight. Obviously, it could take years. And that's what makes this sport really hard. Because you got a lot of high level athletes that do all the right things. Plus, they're really confident. Plus they got a team. Plus this and that. And
the time is now to take your mindset to the next level with Wrestling Mindset. Make sure you go to our website, wrestlingmindset.com, and sign up for your free trial session today. Don't wait any longer. You want the mental edge right now. When you sign up for the free trial session, you're also going to get a copy of our free ebook, Building the Predator Mindset. This book has helped thousands of people build confidence, relax under pressure, get motivated, and build mental toughness in wrestling, school, and life. Make sure you sign up for your free trial session today.
My mindset, I think, before a match is, just being more calm and aware of my surroundings. Like I said, being present. And once I'm that, then I'm in the moment. And then once I'm that, then I can control what happens, at least on my end. And so, yeah, that's kind of like how I take it.
It's hard, isn't it? Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because it's one of those things where you care so much about the sport, so you really want to do well. And sometimes things that fuel us, like I want to make other people proud, or I want to look good in front of other people, or I don't want to look bad. Like some of those things that fuel us, they could hurt us also, right? And the sport, like, and then the day of a match, you have to let go. So it's like, I really, really care. I'm controlling every little thing. In the day of a match, it's just like, hey, whatever happens, happens. Not that, you have to have kind of that cowboy mentality where it's just, hey, I'm ready to just let it rip. Talk about that a little bit. That had to be hard to get to that point where you just kind of not like surrender to a certain extent. I'm going out there, I'm doing my thing, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone, like you said.
Right.
And to let go of that, for me, I would go in this meditation state of mind, and I'll kind of just forget about those problems, and I'll be like, oh, I got a wrestling match. So then I'll just go into the wrestling match. I won't let those, I guess, demons catch up to me. And so it's a it's hard. It's hard to like tell someone, hey, this is how I did it, because the way I did it might not work for that person.
Right.
So yeah, it's it can be a blessing and a curse. It's very hard. Wrestling's a beautiful sport, and you have to be good in a bunch of different ways. And again, discipline comes into play and takes years and yada yada. So I think towards the mid of my, well, I don't know. It's not like riding a bike, right? So you don't get it and then get it going for the rest of your life. You get it. It's an everyday battle, everyday war. It's a wrestling match. It's a mental wrestling match before the actual physical wrestling match. So yeah, I think I did a good job with that at the beginning of my college career. Kind of dipped down in the middle, and then towards the end of my career, I spiked that mindset up again, and I was able to have the senior year that I had. And why is that? I don't know. I think I was more in my head. I put a lot of pressure on myself when I got to Iowa mentally. You know, when I first got to Edinburgh my freshman year, I was like, I don't care. You know, I cared, but I don't care. You know, it's about the results. And yeah, so you're your biggest enemy, or you know, you could be your greatest hero. So it's a funny thing.
Right. Yeah. And we're saying a lot of times you do have to be kind of, you have to be you never want to be your worst enemy, obviously, but you want to be simultaneously your best friend and your harshest critic. Like you got to be easy on yourself and encourage yourself. But at the same time, if you're not going to be hard on yourself, you're going to have a real problem. I mean, yeah, you know, your coaches could be hard on you, but really you should be harder on yourself than your coaches, your teachers, you know, family. So it's a tough balance. It's a tough balance.
Yeah, and that's something I had to deal with too. Is I was too hard on myself. Like
Right.
I remember, like I would feel guilty when I take days off. You know, even on vacation, I felt like I couldn't really fully relax because I was always thinking about wrestling, and it's a good and bad thing, you know. But there's a balance for sure. Moderation and everything is key.
Yeah, I mean, like you have to have fun with the sport. Number one, like if you're not having fun, ultimately you're not going. Like at very least in the beginning, wrestling has to be about fun, right? But then as you start to get serious, there's no doubt you're going to have to be a harsh critic on yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to get better because there's a lot of good people out there. And then it's like as you ascend the rankings, so to speak, you get better and better. Now you almost have to bring it back to why you originally wanted to wrestle. Like, hey, I'm having fun. And that's hard because it's moving through phases. It's not clear cut like the phases, but there's overlap. But it's like the fun, the harsh critic, and then the fun again, bringing it back full circle where you balance it well. Not easy. Not easy to do without a mindset coach, which is why we're, you know, a lot of times it's a painful process of trial and error for guys. It's hard. And a lot of people go their whole career without quite getting it just right. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree. And then you're saying bringing that back, that your best friend and a critic and a harsh critic at the same time. You saying that and me looking back at my career, I could see when I did that and when I didn't do it. And then when I did do that, that's when I had success. When I didn't do that, that's when, you know, the adversity would come in. So yeah, I could see that, and then that makes a lot of sense. And then one thing I didn't do was bring it back to making it fun again. I was always more of a harsh critic on myself, but I was like, am I having fun? Or like my mindset was I want to beat this guy. I don't know, like I just don't want to lose. I don't want to feel that feeling of losing, and I would rather him feel it. And then I would start to create these events in my mind that didn't really happen and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that was something I picked up from my dad. But yeah.
How do you feel like that was in the Iowa wrestling room? Because from the outside, what people, you know, how all the stereotypes, it's like, oh, okay, Iowa's the grinders. And then you look at Penn State, you know, they're always talking about fun, right? And of course, there's overlap both ways. Obviously, the Penn State guys are grinding. Obviously, the Iowa guys are having fun too. But I mean, talk about that a little bit. How do you feel? How do you feel like that balance is struck at Iowa? You could speak for what goes on over there. I mean, of course, you know, you love the coaches, you love the program and stuff. Do you feel like it's a good balance in your experience, or how did they get through to each guy? I'm sure it's a little bit different for each person.
Yeah, exactly, 100% different for each person. But so from on my perspective, um, they kind of just they would show you the type of love they have for sport for you through the sport of wrestling. So they would, I mean, they're passionate guys. You see it during Doom Meet, you're seeing it in an interview, and people think it's a front, and it's not. They laugh at them, and it's not a joke. It's like, wow, they're just passionate. Which they will fight to the end for their team and for each individual guy on their team. So I think the balance that they have is good. It's not like, oh, Iowa team is just a bunch of hardworking, hard nosed cut dudes, and we are, and but like there is fun in there. There's jokes between practice, before and after. We have like we will have games that will go away, like not during practice, but like after practice or before. In the summer, we like we'll all go play football outside, and just stuff like that. So there's definitely a balance. Tom and Terry they love to crack jokes, and they're pretty funny. They got a good sense of humor. But like when it's time to wrestle, it's time to wrestle. So like there's a time for everything. When it's time to have fun, you have fun, and so on and so on. So yeah, I think they do a they do a good balance of that, time management. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's like we have to be passionate about the sport, and passion is like that deep fire from within. Like, I want this. I personally want this. And then like the fun aspect is a little bit more. It's not superficial, because that's not true either entirely, but it's like more, kind of like the day of. I'm enjoying myself. Sometimes, not all the time, obviously, but sometimes I'm laughing and smiling, and it's like it's more like pleasurable. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the
Yeah.
passion and the fun, they're similar, but they're not identical. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. They go hand in hand. They fit like a puzzle. The passion, the hard work and the fun. So once you can find, I guess if you find a good mixture of those, you find a great athlete, or you just find a great person in general. So yeah, good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why one of the things that we're always trying to do with Wrestling Mindset, we're constantly trying to have that one-on-one with the kids. I never did that. I mean, I saw when I wrestled at the University of Pennsylvania, I spoke with our sports psychologist like once. He came into our team 2 or 3 times that I could remember. So unfortunately, for me, it was a lot of like a painful process of trial and error, and never having mastered it, obviously. But it's like, if I would have had that coach, someone who could have, like, who knew exactly about mindset and was working with me or with the team, I feel like that would have helped so much. Did you guys ever have anyone coming in that was directly working on like confidence or relaxing under pressure, or what to tell yourself right before a match or anything like that?
Yeah, so I believe, like, again, I think it was a woman, I forgot her name,
Mhm.
but she came in the room and introduced herself, and a few guys went to her. I didn't go to her. I think my sports psychologist was Tom and Terry, so that I just used them, and I mean, I can relate better to them than I can, to this woman. No offense, but like, she's not a wrestler. I'm gonna go to a wrestling mindset coach, and if because I'm in the sport of wrestling. So yeah, they did a great job. I mean, I guess they would give us our own session before practice, as a group, and that right there was enough for me. I would have goosebumps running down my body, but right before practice started, and during practice, and so, and then after, since it's like, I mean, they have just listen. If you just listen to them and then apply what they're saying to your life, and if that doesn't work, okay, take that out, and then bring this back in, and it's hard. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah,
but yeah, I think those guys were kind of like my sports like psychologists. So
excellent.
yeah.
Excellent. So now what does the near future look like for you within the next couple weeks, the next couple months over the course of the year? What's the short-term plan?
So I'm actually leaving to Pennsylvania tomorrow with Spencer for team camp somewhere in PA. I don't know where it's at. But yeah, so that, and then I have the camp June 6th coming up in Miami in a few weeks. And then I'm going to Paris. We're going to Paris July-ish, July 20th, all the way until August 9th or 10th. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have right now. After that, move back down to Florida. And yeah, so it's pretty exciting. I'm excited to close this chapter and start a new one. So it's good. I feel blessed, like I keep saying, and I'm just grateful for everyone in my life. So yeah.
That's awesome, Pat. And as you get down there to Florida, let us know any way we could help you. First of all, where could people find you? I have social media, I'm sure, right? Instagram?
Yeah, social media, Pat Lugo. And that's my personal Instagram. My wrestling club Instagram is Miami Hawks Wrestling Corp. That's on Facebook as well. And I have a website, MiamiHawksWC.com. So yeah, those are ways you can contact me, or if you have questions about the wrestling club.
Excellent. And when you get down there, let us know. However we could help you promote, get the word out there. We support what you're doing. You're doing great things, and we appreciate you coming on. We'll do this again. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Whenever. I'm free. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.